All right, when we're solving by factoring, we want to use our zero factor property. So the zero factor property basically says I need 0 and I need to factor. So for this first one, I don't have 0, so I have to subtract the 6x from each side. And I should always try factoring first whenever I'm solving. So now I've got a 0, but factoring, I need the zero factor property. So for this one, I've got a 0, now I need to factor it. I can factor out a 3x, which leaves me with an x minus 2. Now I've got it factored, and I have 0. What I do is I set each factor equal to 0. So I take the first factor, the 3x, and I set it equal to 0. Then I take the second factor, the x minus 2, and I set it equal to 0. And I solve each. This one I divide each side by 3, so I find out that x equals 0. This one I add 2 to each side. So I find out that x equals 2. Okay? So my two answers here are the 0 and the 2. For number 4, I want to approach it the same way. I need 0, so I'm going to subtract the 16 from each side. And what that leaves me with is an x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. And now I want to solve by factoring, so I'm going to build a bridge. And I look for two numbers that multiply together to give me a negative 16, but add together to give me a negative 6, which would be a negative 8 and a positive 2. And for this one, I can use my shortcut in terms of factoring because I have a 1 out front. So this thing's going to factor into an x minus 8 and an x plus 2. If we didn't use our shortcut here, just to show you how this works, I would split up the middle term into a minus 8x and a plus 2x. And then I would factor by grouping. I would group the first two together and group the second two together. And that would leave me with an x. I take an x out of the first, which leaves me with an x minus 8. I would take a positive 2 out of the second 2, which would leave me with an x minus 8 as well. And now I can see my two factors are the x minus 8 and the x plus 2. All right, and I show you that because in something like number 6, you won't be able to use a shortcut. You're going to have to factor by grouping. All right, but whenever you have a 1 out front, you can take a shortcut here and use these two values to go right to your two factors. Okay. Now that I have the thing factored, I'm going to set each factor equal to 0, and I'm going to solve each. Okay, this first one I would add an 8 to each side, and when I do that, I find out that x equals 8. The second one I would subtract a 2 from each side, and I'd find out that x equals a negative 2. All right, so for this one, the two answers I get are the negative 2 and the positive 8. Okay?